Hi, it's Joey B. I'm at Wider's Crossing in Slatington, Pennsylvania on the Appalachian Trail. Yes, I'm standing on the Appalachian Trail right now. It's where it crosses over the Lehigh River. Georgia's that way, Maine is this way. What am I doing here? Well, I'm on the last day of maximum intensity, training for my first ultramarathon. So I'm doing the hardest thing I can think of. That means I gotta get up there twice. And I gotta get up there 3 times. Let's go. Let's talk about Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. My God, that movie's almost 10 years old. Well, kids, I'm sure you've seen it, but ask your parents about before the movie came out. Everyone was like, did you hear they cast Ben Affleck as Batman? Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna see it. And then the movie came out, and all anyone was talking about was like, dude, did you see how jacked Ben Affleck got? And then it was like, hey, he was actually a really good Batman. But yo, he got jacked! Of course, one of the big things that put him over was the training scene. That's where I come in. I'm Joey B, an aspiring maniac runner from the Philadelphia suburbs. I'm only a year older than Henry Cavill, and I was offered the role of Superman after winning my office Halloween contest. Now, Man of Steel, but Henry Cavill as Superman, oh yeah. He was already over, so I thought it was best to turn down the offer and let Henry reprise the role. Fast forward to today, and I've signed up for an ultra-marathon. I have to run 31 miles and over 4,000 feet of elevation, and I've never even ran 20 miles in a day. It'll be the hardest physical feat I've ever attempted. Just like Batman getting ready to fight Superman, an adversary beyond his dimension. Sure, he's fought Bane and Killer Croc, but they're just guys. To beat Superman, it'll take every ounce of physical and mental fitness. He had to train like never before. And for the last 8 weeks, I've trained like never before, and I'm at the end of maximum intensity 3 weeks before the race. Now, I'm not on Batman's level, but I'm trying to reach that new dimension. Today is my last chance to do the hardest thing I can think of so that the ultramarathon won't seem like a big deal. For my money, that will be found somewhere on the Appalachian Trail, a 2,000 plus mile trail that spans the east coast of the United States. Pennsylvania hosts over 200 miles of the trail and is infamous for the ruggedness of the terrain. It's kind of a Rocky Horror Picture Show at times, but they've also been some of the most beautiful and exhilarating hikes that I've ever been on. In fact, I'll give you a Joey B. Pennsylvania AT Top 3. They're all at river crossings with twin peaks. There's the town of Duncannon, the AT's midway point, where it crosses over the Susquehanna River, and the Delaware Water Gap, where it crosses over the Delaware River into New Jersey. But I want to tackle the toughest beast, the Lehigh Gap, where it crosses over the Lehigh River. Right now, I'm only 10 minutes in, and I'm already way up here. Remember, that's where I was when I started, on the bridge, and my watch is telling me I'm 350 feet up already. Yeah, just that fast, you're treated to like, oh, well, isn't that lovely? Yes, it is. Now we're going to continue on. Yeah. And then, as soon as you have that nice, relaxing vista, then it's this. This is the way. All right, so Lehigh Gap doubleheader. I've been here before a few times, never under such terrible conditions, but hey, good for training. The Lehigh Gap West Loop is about 6 miles. The Lehigh Gap East Loop is about 3 miles. And I need to get over 20 today. So I've hiked the whole thing all at once. It was about 9.5. So I figure I better do it at least twice, and that's still not gonna be enough. What we're gonna do is east, west, east, west, east. Yeah, 5 loops. It's gonna suck.
Yeah, I'm fine. I like hikes that I feel like we got to get to Ras Al Ghul's lair to get to the top. Alright, so we're gonna concentrate here and not rush it. But I mean, I still gotta film because I want to demonstrate that this can be done safely. This is really just like Assassin's Creed. I mean, look at all these ridges for footholds and handholds. See, you know, plenty of weight secured right there, and I'm fine. Very dreary Lord of the Rings kind of looking day, isn't it? Oh yeah. In the desolation of Slatington, we see the haze of Smaug overlooks the Lehigh River. Okay, so here we are, just a half mile from the parking lot, 500 feet higher, and we get to this. Whew. So look, I'm not even making you wait till the end of the video for the best part. We get the overlook like right away. Except there's not much to look at here. Wow. Shrouded in mystery. Okay. So we see the white blazes. Appalachian Trail continues north in that direction. We're going to be going that way in a minute. Here's the top of this mountain. That's where we just came up from. And there is the Lehigh River. We're standing at the top of the East Gap, the Lehigh East Gap. And there, across the way, is the West Gap, which we'll be getting to in another 45 minutes or so. Now the shadow of Sauron has passed down the river, and we can see the mountains unbesmirched by his malice. Now normally, when I'm hiking here and I get to this spot, I'm stopped for like 30 minutes because, you know, gotta get all the shots. Got to take it in, got to see all the angles, got to hang out, and today I got to keep moving. But I just wanted to come over to this spot right here because this is, again, remember, that's where we were like 15 minutes ago, down on the bridge, and the parking lot is just up a little ways from there. Now we're all the way up here, so we got to get up here 3 times. Here's number 1. And now we got to get back down, we got to get over there. We got to get up and down that and back over here and up and down there again. So yeah, I can't really be lollygagging around this time. It's time to get up that way. This car has seen some things, you know, Lake Placid, the Adirondacks in New York. Now we have the Smoky Mountains, was that the Appalachian Trail down there? So of course here we had the AT, that's the sign for the Appalachian Trail. But the most relevant sticker for today's purposes is right here, Rocksylvania. We will see full-fledged Rocksylvania. And that's basically like rocks of this size here, except it's nothing but that to walk on. Here we are, Rocksylvania, level 2. But keep following white. If you keep following white, you'll eventually get through Pennsylvania, on to New Jersey, New York, New England, and you'll get to Maine eventually.
The hour grows late. Smoke rises from the mountain of doom, and Gandalf the Grey rides to Isengard, seeking my counsel. For that is why you have come, is it not, my old friend? Saruman!
Yeah, so I mean, technically this is a trail run, but in the East Loop, I tried to run it and there wasn't that much running because, I mean, look at this. Like, how much faster can you go? Like, unless you're Batman. Like, Batman could probably run through this. You know, Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man's got powers. Batman's some guy, but like, you know, the level of agility and bounce that you would need to like run through this. Well, I want to see it. Anyone who's seen it, share a link for that down below. But I'm just moving as fast as I can. This kind of seems like a power walk. I don't want to push it any more than this. Got a long way to go. Oh, like here, I could run through here. Could run through here and then we're back to Rocksylvania. I mean, who could do, you know, Wolverine could probably run through this. All right, we're about to end this phase of Rocksylvania. Oh, but it'll be back. But for now, just like that, it goes from rocks to not really rocks. That's the earliest switchback. The winter trail, but kind of the full East Loop goes a little bit farther up. Well, one of my favorite parts about a hike or a trail run is the changes in scenery. Watching the land unfold and seeing what's around the next corner. As you can see here, this is a totally different vibe than what was happening a few minutes ago when it was rocks on top of the mountain, sprawled out over the river. So I'm about to turn back here. There's trails that keep going past this, but that's getting into backpacking territory, and I have not unlocked that level yet. I do a lot of damage in a day, though. It's nice to be able to run again. It's a fast descent. You'll be back down in what seems like no time, but watch your step.
super short step technique, super safety style. All great fighters call out their finishing moves.
There it is, the West Gap Loop. 6 miles next, got to get up and down. All right, time to get on over that bridge. But for now, here we are back at the car. Actually gonna have to recharge the GoPro. I'll be back for that later.
So I'm debuting 2 new pieces of gear today. Very excited. First, what could be more important than your shoes? So check this out, new trail runners. The Saucony Peregrine 13. Now what I really like about these the most is the holes in the bottom. So if you have creek crossings, like I'm going to for my first ultramarathon as 4, that's gonna drain easily. You're gonna get way less squish, squish, squish. And this is great. You know, I really need these. This is the beginning of racing season. It's a perfect time because here's my first pair of trail runners here. Yeah, we got a little situation going on with that. You could say I got my money's worth. We got that there. So, and the other piece of gear, new running watch actually. So I went with the COROS Pace 3. Look at this, for $230 you can get a high-end running watch. Right now I got my casual face on, Starry Night. We're gonna get into that later. I've been loving it though for the last week, and it's gonna take my fitness to the next level. Yeah, some real solid food is good. I actually did the West Loop already and the East Loop a second time, but the GoPro was already out of battery, so I was charging that the whole time. And yeah, I'm only about halfway done, and it's starting to get dark. Get right back on the trail because I've only been stopped a few minutes and I'm already shaking because it's so cold. Well, here we are crossing over the Lehigh River. There's the East Loop, just did that. Heading towards the West Loop over here. And
first, I want to apologize because I had this big route planned for you. It was supposed to be a tale of 2 mountains, and you only got to see one. And then through running out of battery and miscalculation, we didn't even get to see the other. I mean, I thought I had it all squared away. I was up at 7:15. It's before daylight savings time. There's not a lot of daylight. I'm gonna be back. We're gonna see the West Loop. Next time I'll do West first and then cap it with the East.
I'm not gonna be able to get to 20 miles again. Pretty close though. About to get back to the parking lot. 4 loops done. I just finished the West Loop for the second time, but it's 8:15. You know, I've just been running for 2 hours in the dark and in the rain. Yeah, I just had enough. It accomplished what it needed to for my training. I don't feel intimidated by the 20-mile mark anymore.
It's the next day, and I am not feeling good. My COROS app is telling me that I'm at 30% right now. Feels about right. I mean, if I have a high-end running watch now, I would expect it to be pretty accurate. But yeah, I feel like I'm at 30%. This feels like me today. Fatigued, like And last night it was telling me I was at 9% after I got home and everything. And yeah, I felt like I was at 9%. This was me last night, like just moving like Okay, and the last thing, the statistics for the day. I know I would want to know that. A lot of stats. I don't necessarily need to know all of them. What's the most important thing? 18 miles. It's actually short of the goal that I set for that day, but that's a lot. And that's more than I've ever run that wasn't in a race. And it was Lehigh Gap double header. 2 mountains, I did both twice, and then the numbers are the mile markers. Time spent on feet, 6 hours, 31 minutes. Yeah, that's good. That's what I need to do. I mean, the ultra marathon is probably gonna take about that. Now, average pace and effort pace, best mile, I feel like the longer the distance goes, the less that I worry about those things. I used to worry a lot or be overly concerned with what my time was. Now I just like to finish. One of the other big stats for me is always elevation gain. Total elevation gain, 4,826 feet. Yeah, I feel good about that. That's actually a little bit more than what I'll be facing in my first ultra marathon. So that's great. Even though, last night, by the time I was done, if it was the ultra, it'd be like, okay, run another 13 miles. But I'd already done the elevation, so could I have run another flat 13 miles last night? But this is how it starts to put it in perspective. Like, I can do this, I am going to do it. In 3 weeks, I'm there. Another big stat, calories. Calories burned just for this workout, 4,057. That is well over what would be normal in a whole day. So it was a good workout. One of the coolest things that I discovered today was, you see the normal top-down view, then you just got to hit the 3D button, and boom, now you're seeing it in 3D. And I like that because it puts the elevation in perspective. That is good for trail running. I mean, these are kind of like small mountains in the grand scheme of things. I know this isn't Colorado or anything, but you'll feel it. That's a good 1,000 feet getting up and down each time. Yeah, you see that when you put that in 3D mode and rotate it, it's like, oh yeah, it kind of looked like that when we were standing there, right? Lehigh River, and you had Slatington and Walmartport, right? It's like you have the one town over there looking that way, and you got the one town over here looking that way. And then in the middle, you got the river. It's like, with the look on his face like, what do you want from me? Reminds me of someone we know, huh? Oh yeah, the bubble with the beard. Alright, I guess I've covered everything there is for that run. Some unfinished business though. I'll be back for the West Loop at some point. There'll be another video. But for now, I have to shoot the last training video for my ultra marathon. So I gotta go. I got like 10 more miles to do. So thank you for making it to the end of this video. See you later.